Okay, what do you do when you lose your job in a down economy? You create your own. Yeah, I mean, if the job market is tight out there and nobody's hiring or whatever, man, it's so easy to create your own job. That's what this next interview is about. This fella was like in the real estate related business, and when 2008 hit, had to do something. He's not a young guy, not real old to retire or anything. He was in the middle there and had to do something. And so something he was interested in was engraving, like wood engraving. And so we started a business. One of these websites, that do everything for you and don't charge money. See, that's the other important thing. If you're trying to start a business and you're giving money to people to start a business, man, that's the quickest way to go out of business. Because you don't know what works. They don't know what works. They think that you know what works, so they're going to sell you something that you think works, but you don't know yet. You don't know until you do it. That's the thing in life. You have to try it first to see if it works. And if you're spending money trying everything, then you're going to run out of money. Like me, I've written 100 books. Only 10 have made money. So I've failed 90% of the time. And I think that's what life is all about, is failing. But that's okay, because nobody knows what's working. It's a whole new system out there. It's a whole new world, a new economy and everything. And it's on the internet. It doesn't work like it used to. The old gatekeepers aren't there. If you had an idea to sell something, you'd have to go to stores and find out, hey, will you put this in your store? You'd have to go around knocking on doors. No, you go to these platforms. Amazon costs nothing to put a store in. Etsy, it costs nothing to put a store in. These kinds of things where you could set up stores for 20 cents. Then you're there. Whether it's like the biggest shopping mall in the world, but it costs you nothing. Then you find out if it works, and that's what takes time. You have to fail. This won't work, that won't work. See, they'll handle things like accounting and payroll and collecting money and credit cards and all that kind of stuff they're set up for. And they just click a switch, and you don't have to learn all that kind of stuff yourself. What you do have to learn is the market. What are people buying? Why do they buy it? How do they buy it and everything? And the best way to learn is trial by error. So don't try to be judging. Go out and do market studies for people. Maybe that'll help. But no, it's cheaper to start a business instead of a market study. You make one product. Hey, I want to sell this. Here it is. Will you buy it? Everyone's saying no. Then you got to change. If you go out and say, hey, your friends and relatives, hey, would you buy this? This kind of cup or whatever. And they're polite, and they may say yes, so encourage you. Or even if they say yes, and they really mean it, or they probably don't mean it because they won't buy that stuff. Or even if they said no, they're not your customer anyway. So you got to find out where your customer is, and that may take you some time. That's why you need time more than anything else. And that's why if you choose an idea or product that you want to be there, you want to do this stuff. There's platforms. You want to teach. Okay, there's platforms out there because you can instruct people. Put up your course. People pay money for it. So all of a sudden you're a teacher. It takes you a couple hours, a couple days, or whatever it is to prepare the lesson and put it up there. Now you have a product. See if anybody does. They don't? Well, then try another one. That's what life is. When you go, trying to date, you don't, ask one woman or something and expect to get married. No, that happens maybe, but maybe happens more often with the internet, but people I talk to don't. They go through a lot of people, right? So all of life is that way. And even when they get married, they only have a 50% chance of success, right? So don't worry about failing. Man, the most important thing we probably do in our life, important is marry somebody, and we're only half right half the time, or half the people are right, or however you want to say that. But with a 50% divorce rate, we're wrong. So why not the rest of your life like that? Try it, see what happens, see if you're wrong. It's not like a divorce because you don't have to, only if you sunk a lot of money in it, only if you had, loans, only if you have a partner and all that kind of stuff. Then it's a divorce and painful. But if you're not doing it with somebody else's money, you just try and see now it's possible. So watch this interview. See how people are doing it nowadays. So you can too. Well, Tony Taylor, and you're part of Taylor Crafts Engraved.com, I guess, right?
Yeah, soon to be EngravedCuttingBoards.com.
Soon to be what? Engraved what?
EngravedCuttingBoards.com.
Caddy ports?
No, engraved cutting boards.
Oh, cutting boards. Oh, okay. Right. It says Skype. We've been screwing around with Skype for a half hour before we got live here. so engraved cutting boards. Okay, so Taylor and Crafts, and that's you and your partner's last names together. It sounds like a craft business, but it's Belinda Craft.
Got really good that way for us.
Yeah. Well, how'd you get into this? I mean, what you make is custom design cutting boards. So, I mean, all this plastic crap I got in my kitchen to cut on, I could have a nice wooden cutting board with a big question mark on it or something, right?
Or your name or whatever you want.
Wow.
It's kind of a funny story. We actually, my business partner and I, we were on the 20th reunion committee for our high school, and it happened to be about the same time the housing downturn was happening. So I was working in the housing industry as a purchaser and estimator. She happened to know that our company was closing. Said she kind of had a little bit of a business she'd been playing around with, wanted to know if we'd be interested in going into business together.
Wow.
We did, and for the first year, we really kind of just tried to find something that would stick, just tried to kind of find our niche, as it were. As it so happened, she had a relative who had a wedding coming up. We had this laser engraver, and we said, well, what if we engraved a cutting board? And I believe our first one actually came from IKEA, believe it or not.
You mean the wood came from IKEA and then you just put something on it?
The first cutting board, I believe, came from IKEA, but then we kind of looked at it and said, hey, we're onto something here. This is beautiful, this is functional, this is personal.
Yeah.
So I started kind of using my old housing industry contacts to find a mill who'd be willing to supply us with the boards.
I see.
The rest, they say, is history.
So now, why did you have a laser cutter? I mean, this is like a 3D printer laser cutter kind of thing, or what?
It's a laser engraver.
Uh-huh.
We've actually gone from 1 to 6, but we did start out with 1. She actually originally tried sandblasting. She was very involved in wanting to create kind of loving memorials, looking at possibly doing like the stones engraved with the pet's name.
I see.
But sandblasting in Utah during winter is not.
So she had one of these around anyway when you guys got together?
She had the sandblasting equipment, and then as we were kind of talking about it, we've been talking about the laser engraver, and she decided to take out a second loan on her house. The laser engraver, just so we could do so much more things.
Yeah. So, I mean, how much is a laser engraver? I mean, like 10 grand or something for these things, or?
Generally, anywhere from 15 to 45, depending upon what.
Wow, no kidding. So, but you could probably, I guess, go and if you wanted to test an idea, you could probably borrow one or rent one or something like that, or not?
I believe there are places where you can hire out time on.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
type places.
Right. At a maker's workshop or something like that. They probably. So you got it by accident because of wedding, and now, man, I looked at your Etsy store and you got hundreds of items on there that people now buy.
We sell anywhere from 20 to 50 a day, depending.
Wow, no kidding. And so as you grew, you got hooked up with somebody who makes wood for you, right? And you're in their space?
We started out in the back room of her house, and we were just ordering boards from this mill. As we started to grow, we kind of took over the whole first floor of her house. That wasn't going to work very long. So we moved into the mill where we were ordering boards from. Outgrew that within a year, ended up renting our own space, outgrew that one, then ended up into a much larger one now. We've been there for 2 years.
Wow. So it looks like you guys are making you're able to survive and make a living out of this thing.
That was actually originally our hope, is that we'd just be able to kind of like make a living for the two of us.
Right.
As we kind of went along, we got busier and busier. We now have 6 employees.
Wow.
A lot of our own woodworking. We have a designer on staff. We have someone handling the shipping department.
Wonderful. So you're creating jobs in Utah. See, the government must love you.
We would hope so.
Yeah. Now, if they just quit collecting taxes, everything would be great, right?
Business owners.
Yeah. So you went from just trying to feed yourself, now you're feeding 6 other people with it. And actually, I guess you were both on payrolls before, and now you have your own business, right?
Yeah. We take care of ourselves and our employees, plus we now have, instead of just one wood supplier, we actually work with about 4 different ones. They've all expanded as well. So
wow.
We're responsible for those jobs.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're a multi whatever business already. Now, what do you think that you said she sort of was fooling around with the business idea. You didn't sound like you had a business before. This is your first business, huh?
This is my first business, and with a partnership, it's always kind of good because you come at things from 2 different angles.
Yeah.
Belinda has a great creative mind. She comes up with a lot of good ideas, a lot of our new products, a lot of our new designs. I kind of have more of a functional background, so I have a lot of the operational know-how.
I see. So
there's kind of the division right there.
I see. So you're just the pretty face, and she's the brains behind the operation, huh?
Yeah.
well, as a first-time entrepreneur kind of thing, what surprised you about starting something like this?
I think there's always a lot of things that you don't consider as you're moving forward. We've been fortunate in that we've been able to kind of learn on the job, not just with the engraving, but in kind of becoming a business owner, how to work out our supply issues. You never really know what you don't know until you start.
Right.
I think the biggest thing for us, truthfully, was other than that initial loan, we've managed to grow without really taking.
I see. Oh, wonderful.
So Belinda's been very shrewd financially in how she's planned out things, and it's a joy to behold.
Wonderful. Well, that's it. So, in other words, there's, instead of knowing everything ahead of time, you just learn as you go, huh?
Exactly. I just dive in with both feet and kind of...
and you just hope you float.
The fact that so many businesses fail when they started out, and so we always try. I think for the first year, we were just trying to find a product, and then even as things started to take off, we didn't really pay ourselves. We just kept putting that money into the business. I was going to school at the time. Belinda had other things going on, so we didn't have to make it to where we were dependent on it. We were able to kind of just nurture it and make it grow.
Well, wonderful. Well, Tony, this is wonderful to talk to you, and you're an inspiration to everybody else who gets cut out of a job or hates their job or whatever. You can do something you don't have any idea how to do it, and just do it, right?
Exactly. I'd say just find something that you enjoy doing and run with it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out along the way. And to find you, it's TaylorCraftsEngraved.com or go to etsy.com and find all your products there, right?
Etsy is our current store. We do have a new website in the works we hope to have up soon. TaylorCraftsEngraved.com has a little bit of our stuff right now, but this new one should be online within the next 30 days.
Okay. So right now, in 30 days. So great. And that new website will be called what?
It will actually be EngravedCuttingBoards.com.
EngravedCuttingBoards.com. And there you find Tony and Belinda, who gave up their old jobs because the jobs didn't want them, and now they have something better. Take care, Tony. Nice to talk to you. Good luck to you out there in the snow in Utah.
All right. Thank you very much.